Thank you so much and all your colleagues, and of course our dear Assemblyman. And Michael, thank you coming on behalf of the governor. David, thank you so much. You are not a stranger anymore. I don't have to.
Not for years.
Yes, for years. I don't have to explain it. Everybody knows you by name and the different hats that you work. But one thing you have in common is basically serving the Jewish community in so many different areas, and most important in the issue of security.
This community has not been spared the anti-Semitism that has been going around the entire city of New York, especially in the Hasidic and Orthodox community. We have had a lot of kids, especially, the victims of these attacks of anti-Semitism. And I wanted to hear mostly from the teachers about how this is affecting the students, because I know that, we have a great public school system, has what they think is a great system about bullying in the public schools. This is a type of bullying, but it's not by school children, because we don't have a bullying problem in the yeshiva schools, but we have a problem with people outside the yeshiva schools trying to bully kids. And so I'm not here to make a long speech. I'm here to listen to you about the issues involving the kids and how this is affecting them, because that's the most important thing in my mind about it. When I see every night on the television a different victim of anti-Semitism, and you have kids who are in the hallway, and they go into the elevator and they're menaced by older kids, older individuals. That bothers me, and I know it bothers you. So my purpose, as I said, and I'm here today because I want to hear how it's affecting the kids, and what you think we need to do about it. I want to thank the governor too, by the way, because I got on the phone with him and told him that I know that you're busy now preparing a budget, preparing the state of the state, but we need you in Williamsburg. We need you now more than ever. And he came right down immediately without any explanation. He just came in, and I said, I don't have to be there. I don't need to be there with you. You just come down to the community and do what you need to do. And I spoke to Michael as well at the same time. And so I appreciate the governor's quick response. Thank you.
My name is Michael Snow. I work for Governor Cuomo as his Director of Jewish Affairs. Thank you for having me here today. I want to thank also our hosts, specifically here in Pumpa, Rick Freeman, for hosting us. This is really meant to be very practical and pragmatic. This is not a security NYPD photo op type of thing. We have here the experts who came from Albany, Ian from Grants Gateway, and Shelley from the State Division of Homeland Security to walk the people who are going to be applying for these grants step by step through the process. So to take a step back, as Rabbi Niederman mentioned, the governor is extremely concerned about anti-Semitism. He'll call me and say, what are we not doing? It's like, oh, you feel like on the spot to answer it. So one of the things that we're doing, that the governor has done, together with the legislature, with the Assembly and the Senate, is allocate $45 million this year for security for not-for-profit yeshivas. And then also what's new is for camps. I worked at a Jewish camp in Rockland County 12 years ago, and I was a counselor, and one night guys drove by in a car and shouted outside from the car, Heil Hitler. It wasn't, an attack, but it shows you sometimes some of the tension, particularly where a lot of these camps are. As I think everyone here knows, a lot of times the relationships can be somewhat fraught. And I'm really glad that we were able, together with the Assembly, to expand this program to include camps. And so we're going to talk today about what are the steps that yeshivas and camps need to do to apply to take advantage of these funds. I'm here if you have any questions or issues and you want to discuss anything after. I'll hang out, whether it's related to this particular program or not. I'm here if you have any questions. I can also give My contact information, Rabbi Niederman has as well. Thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you for all coming today.
Thank you.
But if you have specific questions with regard to your individual organization, we're going to ask that you submit those in writing to our grants information mailbox.
All the information that you need, okay, to register with the Grants Gateway and to pre-qualify, okay, is available on the New York State Grants Management website. The reason you have to register in the Grants Gateway, okay, is so that you can meet New York State's pre-qualification requirement. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'll say, like, I can really break it down 3 ways. Okay, we get a lot of people on the phone. They're not good with computers. They don't use computers. It's a small mom and pop. Either way, okay? If you are one of those people, don't worry about it, okay? Because I have staff. They're going to be on the phone with you. They're going to help you out. They'll go here, click here, open this up. They will help you. They will get you through that. Okay? Second category of folks who call, okay, or that I come in contact with, are people who don't have a particular thing. I don't have a whistleblower policy. That's no problem, okay? Go over here, we can get a whistleblower policy, my guys on the phone, they'll show you where the link is, help you get through that, and so forth. You're all good. Now, if you're not incorporated, okay, or you haven't done taxes in a few, those are different problems. But if it's just kind of like, oh man, they're asking me about a lot of different policies, I don't have these policies, we can get you through. All right, and we try to help people in doing that. Those people are all, those 2 categories, they're going to be successful, okay? This is the biggest thing, okay? If you're not one of those 2, okay, and you're looking at these requirements and you're saying, oh man, it's complicated, it's going to take me a long time, but I, for whatever reason, like you procrastinate, okay? Or maybe you're procrastinating a little bit because you feel, oh, it's a lot to go through, I shouldn't have to go through it. If you fall into that category, okay, I beg you, all right, find somebody else to do it for you, okay? Because at the end of the day, those are the people who don't make it.
Everyone always asks me, well, if I know that I have to put a new lock in my door, can I do the lock now, and then when it gets approved, can I just submit for reimbursement? The answer is absolutely not. You can only be reimbursed for things that you do after you have a signed contract. Presentation will be available from UJO. What can you buy? Perimeter lighting, door hardening, alarm systems, cameras, access control systems, fencing, blast-resistant film for shatter-resistant glass, interior door hardening for lockdown systems, panic buttons, and
Thank you, David. As Rabbi said earlier, we have been in the community about 8 to 10 years now with micro-enterprise loans. David introduced us to the government grants that each Jewish communal institution can get, apply for, and receive. One of the problems was that these government security grants, the institutions have to pay upfront for the infrastructure upgrades and then be reimbursed. Now, for a lot of the smaller institutions, this presented a cash flow problem. Then this is where we are willing to step in. The Hebrew Free Loan Society will give interest-free loans for up to $150,000 for institutions that have government grants that need to upgrade. So we come in at the end where you have a signed contract and you have gone through all the procurement processes and you have an executed contract. We step in, we lend the institution the money, they do the security upgrades, they apply for reimbursement, and you have 10 days after you have got the reimbursement to return the money to the Hebrew Free Loan Society. Now, as I said, this is an interest-free loan. We have gotten funding through the UJO. The Singer Foundation provided us with $800,000. Since then, we have also stepped up with other partners, and we have increased that by another $500,000 as of a few weeks ago. And our CEO, Rabbi Rosen, is also in negotiations to increase it further. So we have We do not have a problem right now with money for this program. What we do have, we do not have enough applications. And we want to make sure that no institution will not apply for these government grants out of fear that they will not be able to finance their upgrades because they have to come up with the money up front. We will step in and finance the upgrades until you have your reimbursement, and you will then reimburse Hebrew Free Loan. Because it's a loan, we do ask for financial information from the institution, and we also ask that you provide us with some of the copies of the letters of approval from the state that you did indeed get the loan. Get the grant, I'm sorry, get the grant. One other initiative that we started is that if you are denied at the government, but you think you still need security upgrades, we have a program that will fund security upgrades for institutions that have not applied or have been denied for grants. This is a little separate. This is a separate initiative, and you will need a guarantor for the money to ensure that the money is returned to us. However, all the other qualifying documentation is the same. The only difference is that you need a guarantor. But the easiest way to get in touch with us if you have questions is we have a dedicated email address, securityloans@hfls.org. In a few weeks, we also hope that we will be putting in some direct loan officer to deal with all these loans that we hope will come in, so that we can provide assistance to get these security upgrades done.
Tomorrow, if you go up, open up the calendar and look at the calendar, okay, there are a lot of steps. You have to get the registration forms in, you have to pre-qualify. There's not a tremendous amount of time left, okay, before the 6th. Okay, so start planning, start laying things out, net your own timelines and seeing where you need to be when. Because we're into that phase where I normally tell people, if you're not in the gateway, if you're not pre-qualified, be concerned, okay? If you take action now, we can help. All right, but look at the calendar, there's not a lot of time for, you know, you to decide. And if you pre-qualify this time but don't apply for that grant, you can apply for another one. There's all kinds of ones that are listed there. So please start. Don't end up in the hole in the end.
And I want to express our thanks to, first of all, to Ian and Shelley for coming down from Albany. Of course, to Darren for coming in from New Jersey.
And let me thank the host, which is the Cooper Institution. We have been using this facility not once, and thank you.
Yeah, for what?
Thank you, David,
So you want to
for
get
being here.
pre-qualified before the 27th?
With the 27th.